morning, Year 4, or should I say Year 5? This week is transition week, and if we were in school, what would usually happen, as you know, is you would be coming up to Year 5 to spend the day learning all about life in Year 5 with myself and Mrs. France. Now, we didn't want you to lose out on such a wonderful opportunity, so the teachers at Evelyn Primary School thought we will bring your new class from our homes to your homes. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to introduce myself. As you know, I'm Miss Gregory and I teach Year 5. Now, teaching Year 5 is my main responsibility, so that means I will have plenty of time to nurture your wonderful talents and abilities and help you to be the best you can be. Also, myself and Miss Shanks are in charge of business and entrepreneurial work at Evelyn Primary School. So we make links with lots of different businesses all over Knowsley and further out, and we arrange wonderful events at schools such as Aspirations Day. We also make sure that Evelyn Primary School learns lots about different culture. Okay? Now, in terms of what I like a lot of things, but my favourite thing of all time to do is singing, and I can't forget dancing and acting. I love singing, dancing and acting. It makes me feel really happy, and we will be doing a lot of that in Year 5. Now, from your Shakespeare play, I know you are fantastic at singing, dancing and acting too, and I cannot wait to share some wonderful times with you. My favourite place in the whole world is Italy. Italy is wonderful, and I have been there so many times, and I cannot wait to share my wonderful stories of travelling around Italy with you. Also, my favourite food, because Italy is my favourite country, it's got to be pizza. Now, when I'm at home and not in school, I love to spend time walking in nature with my beautiful dog Pablo. Now, you may be thinking, Miss Gregory, why are you holding a cushion of him, and why haven't you got the real dog with you? And that's simply because, although he's calming and lovely and we love spending some time together because it's great for our well-being, he can also be quite crazy. So, if he was on this video now, he will be jumping everywhere, he will be jumping on the table, he will be jumping on my head, and he will be causing chaos. So, he is downstairs at the moment. My favourite film of all time is Harry Potter. Now, I couldn't choose which one, so I've got all 8 of them here. All 8 films are my favourite. I could watch them over and over and over again. They are just wonderful and magical. If we ever have a fancy dress day at Evelyn Primary School, you will see me with my scar on my head and my wand in my hand, being Harry Potter for sure. Lastly, I love reading and writing. This is one of my favourite books of all time, and it's something as you, Year 5, will get to experience. You will have the opportunity to look through this wonderful book. It's called Writing with Stardust, and it's full of fantastic vocabulary and adjectives and descriptive language to help you write the most fantastic stories. Now, my favourite fiction book to read is Tuppence to Cross the Mersey by Helen Forrester. Now, this was my nan's favourite book, and my mum loves this book too. We've been to see it in the theatre lots of times, and it's very special to me, this book. And as our first fiction genre that we will focus on is historical fiction, I will get to share part of this book with you. It's wonderful. So, in terms of what you will be doing in Year 5, well, you are going to be the grown-ups of the school now. You're in Upper Key Stage 2, and that means that we'll be learning lots It means you will have the opportunity to become more independent, but most of all, we will make sure that we have lots of fun doing so. So, in English, as I said, first of all, we will be looking at historical fiction with a focus on this book by Burley Doherty. It's called Street Child, and it's about a Victorian orphan. It's an absolutely wonderful book, and you will love reading it. As well as looking at books, we will also be watching video clips and pictures and inspiring our writing that way. So last year we looked at the Titanic, A Night at the Museum, and we also looked at this very special book because we will be diary writing. It's called The Diary of a Young Girl, Anne Frank. Some of you may have heard of Anne Frank, but some of you may have not. Anne Frank is a very special young lady who was a prisoner of war in World War II in Nazi Germany. And she hid away in an attic for a long, long time. And while she was there, she wrote hundreds of diary entries. We will have the pleasure of reading some of those and writing some diary entries of our own. Just before Christmas, we will begin to look at Charles Dickens. Now, Charles Dickens is a wonderful author, and he has written so many fantastic stories. We will be looking at Oliver and my favourite, A Christmas Carol, which is wonderful to learn about just before Christmas. In spring term, we will then move on to myths and legends. We will be reading all about myths and legends of how the earth was created. We will be looking at legends such as the Loch Ness Monster and the Egyptian and Mayan gods, which go hand in hand perfectly with our history topics. And we will also be focusing on David Walliams. Now, I know everybody loves David Walliams. He is so funny. And I will make sure we get to read lots of his books. Even if we don't read the full books, we will make sure that we read bits and bobs of all so we can experience all of his wonderful writing. Now, my favourite was Gangster Granny, but I must say now, I think it's got to be The Demon Dentist. I can't wait to hear all about your favourite David Walliams stories. In the final term, we will be looking at mystery stories. Now, this is very exciting. It will get our curious minds flowing. We will have our thinking detective hats on, and we will be solving mysteries that which we read, and we will also be writing mysteries. Oh, it's just a wonderful topic to learn about. You will love every second of it. Now, in maths, we will simply just be carrying on from where you left off in year 4, but we will be building on that knowledge. And most importantly, we will be looking at problem solving and thinking about how we can use our reasoning skills to deepen our learning. I know that you're all wonderful at your times tables and you have fantastic math skills, so I'm so looking forward to working on those with you more. Year 5 is lovely for maths because you get to see how all of those mathematical concepts we follow, such as multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, link into other areas of maths such as measurements, time, money, and it all clicks together. You will love it. In science, in year 5, we will study evolution. We will look at properties of materials, we will explore the galaxy through our topic of space, and we will look at forces. Now, my favourite thing about science in year 5 is that we get to do lots of experiments. We get to think inquisitively, and we get to put our curious minds on, and we will just have the best time investigating and finding out all about the world around us. I've already mentioned history briefly as it relates in lovely with our English, but we will be learning about the Victorians, the Mayans and the Egyptians. And overall, throughout those 3 periods of time, we will be thinking about how different it was in those periods of time to be a slave. And that always creates a lovely discussion topic. In PE, we will be focusing on a range of different sports, such as athletics, invasion games, gymnastics, dance, and most importantly, you will be able to develop your independence. It will be down to you to think of rules, to create rules, and to establish rules and work as a team. It will be wonderful to see, because I know some of you in Year 4 are sporting superstars. Okay, so I think that's enough about me and enough about Year 5. I want to hear a little bit about you. So I've set you a lovely task. It's a lovely All About Me booklet to complete. Now simply at the top I'd like your name, and in these stars I would like you to draw a picture of yourself. Maybe around the picture of yourself you could draw things you love. So I would maybe draw, as I said, my little dog Pablo, or I would draw Harry Potter, or maybe me holding a wand, and maybe me eating a slice of pizza. Why not? I'd like to know when your birthday is, and next I would like you to write a letter to your teacher, which will be me, telling me all about you and your family. Okay, I want to see your beautiful handwriting, your wonderful spelling, and I want to see you checking for capital letters and full stops all ready for Year 5. In your letter, I would like you to tell me about the important people in your family and your pets. You could maybe write what you do with them, how you spend your time together, and what makes you feel like home with them, what reminds you of them. For example, I love daffodils because they remind me so much of my wonderful mum. In the star, jot down any words which you feel best describe your family. So I would write, Pablo is cuddly. So I could have cuddly, loving, lots of words that describe your family. And remember, you can describe your family however you want. Everybody's families are completely different. Next, I would like you to briefly explain the choices for your top 3 favourite places. Now, I've already told you one of mine, it's Italy. And that's because it's beautiful. There are so many different parts of history in Italy where you can look at famous landmarks, you can go on nature walks and look at beautiful scenery, you can enjoy time at the beach. Oh, it's wonderful. My next favourite place in the world is home, because I feel safe at home and I love my home. It's where I feel most comfortable and most happy. And my final favourite place in the world is Evelyn Primary School, and that's because it's magical. I get to spend each and every day with wonderful children like you, having the best time learning. Next, it asks you to write 3 significant things that have happened to you. So you can think back, it can be good, it can be maybe something that wasn't so great, but it's stuck in your head, and you can write 3 things that have happened to you. And finally, the top 3 people or names that you like to spend time with. So mine will be my family, my friend Emma, and my beautiful nephew Jacob, because I just love spending time with Jacob. And I'd like you to write why. So the reason I like to spend time with Jacob is because he makes me laugh a lot, and he's so giggly and he always puts me in a positive mindset. On the last page, this is looking forward to next year, so it asks you to write, when I think about the coming school year, I feel good about. So it wants you to tell me what you feel good about. What is making you super excited to be in Year 5? Well, my answer will be, I'm really looking forward to next year in Year 5 because I get to meet and work with lots of wonderful new children and learn all about their individual talents and their different loves for learning. It also asks you to say what you're a bit apprehensive about. Now, apprehensive means nervous. Now, lots of people usually say here, hard work. And year 5 is hard work, but when you started year 4, that was hard work too. But your best is always good enough, and if you approach everything with a positive attitude, we will have the best time, because year 5 is so fun. I cannot wait to read all about what you've written in your All About Me booklet, and most of all, I am really looking forward to working with you in September. I cannot wait. So I hope you all enjoy the end of summer term and have the best summer holidays, and you are ready to learn and for some exciting new adventures in September. Bye, Year 4.